Hi, Marta, Valle here with PlusCoFloridaHomes.com, powered by MVP Realty. Today I'm here with Rick Preissel from McDonald Insurance. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thanks. And we're going to talk about insurances that are all around the house, like connected with the house, like homeowners insurance, flood insurance. So first of all, Rick, what would you say, what should first-time homebuyers look for when shopping for homeowners insurance?
Well, what they have to do is get the right coverage, and the standard would be a homeowner's policy HO3 that's owner occupied. So you want to get the right coverage for the right price. So those are two things we concentrate on.
How do we find kind of the right price? Because sometimes it seems that like some insurances get better quotes, but if you start looking in the nitty-gritty things, you kind of notice, oh, this one is not covering me so well.
Well, first thing you want to do is determine what the replacement cost of the dwelling would be, and you want to get a quote for that amount. And then you want to make sure that all the coverages are there, like it would be homeowners in coverage, which would be for the dwelling, and the contents, and the liability. And some houses have other structures, so you want that too. And what I use in my office is a comparative rater. So I get quotes from anywhere from 8 to 12 different companies. And then what I do is I take the lowest quote and I fine tune it to determine if in fact, how accurate it is. And then I present that to my customers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So have there been any recent changes in the insurance market, and how has this affected everything?
Yeah, in the past 6 to 12 months for a couple of reasons. One is because of the inflationary rate of the increase in the value of dwellings. So now we have to put more coverage on the dwellings because of the cost to replace them. And also with regard to the product itself, because of Hurricane Irma, there were a lot of losses. And the insurance companies have to buy what's called reinsurance. And now the cost of reinsurance has gone up in the past year. So that means the cost of homeowners insurance has gone up in the past year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then what about flood insurance? Usually in Ave Maria, the homes are in flood zone X.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if your home doesn't show in the FEMA flood on the FEMA map in flood zone X, please ask your realtor to check on that, because usually there should be a letter of map change somewhere. So, what can you say about flood insurance?
Okay, so basically, if there's a mortgage on the property, the lenders will require you to purchase flood insurance in either a flood zone B or a flood zone A. If it's in another flood zone, then the flood insurance would be optional. So a lot of people do purchase flood insurance in the optional zones, especially if they come from out of town. And 25% of flood losses actually occur in the optional zones. Now, the cost of flood insurance has skyrocketed too, because new rates went into effect October 1st, and I've seen increases of 50% in the flood insurance. So it's not as inexpensive as it used to be, but in many cases, because there is a mortgage, the people do have to buy flood insurance.
So it's probably better to shop beforehand, so as to get to know better what to expect for the flood insurance quote before you actually go under contract.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with that. They definitely have to shop for it to make a determination as to whether or not they can afford to buy that particular house, and they want to pay that much for their insurance. Yeah.
What about here in Florida? We also have the hurricane season. What can people expect as to coverage for hurricane damage?
Okay, so the hurricane season runs from December 1st to June 1st. And hurricane coverage in most cases, especially in Ave Maria, would be included in the homeowner's policy. So, and hurricane insurance has different deductibles than all perils coverage. So, in a standard homeowner's policy, you're going to have two deductibles. One is going to be the all perils deductible, and that could be anywhere from $500 to $5,000. But in the hurricane insurance, the average or the standard deductible is about 2% of the dwelling coverage. So if you have dwelling coverage of, let's say, $300,000, then your hurricane deductible is going to be $6,000. Now, we are lucky to a degree that some people don't want to have the exposure of 2% of the dwelling coverage, so they opt for a lower hurricane deductible, say somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 to $2,500. With some of the companies, that is available. So that's something to consider when you're shopping for homeowners insurance and considering your hurricane deductibles.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much. I've been always really happy with your quotes. You've given me the best quotes.
I try to do my best.
Truly an insurance wizard.
Okay, thanks.
I will put Rick's contact info in the description below. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
God bless you.
Thanks.